It's hard to imagine, but there was a time where speech and debate tournaments were run without computers. People used index cards to keep track of debates and speeches and rooms and judges. There's an incredible amount of human coordination to make that happen. Right now, asynchronous speech and debate tournaments also require a lot of human coordination, even though we have a lot of great electronic equipment and programs. I'm sure that the efficiency for asynchronous debate tournament management will increase over the upcoming years. But for right now, we can make this work if we just have a little bit of human coordination. The goal of this video is to help that coordination along by explaining everything that needs to happen from a user's perspective. The best place to start is with a debate entry itself. We're going to use the term debate entry regardless of whether or not it is team or individual debate for now, even though there are some distinct differences that we will explain later. The first thing that happens is that each debate entry needs to fill out a waiver. These waivers are pretty important for online environments, spelling out some guidelines as well as enabling us to share videos with other people within the tournament. Once the waivers are completed, each debater is given access to 6 Google Drive folders. Each of those folders will have a unique title on them. It will start with a debate number, what type of debate it is, and it will have your particular debate code as well as your opponent's debate code. It will clearly label who is on the affirmative and who is on the negative. Every debate entry will be affirmative for 3 rounds and negative for 3 rounds. Once that setup is complete, debate entries can turn their attention to their first affirmative. Debate entries need to record themselves to a video file and title that file with the appropriate debate number, their name, as well as what speech it is. So for the first speech, it will be the 1AC, or PMC for Parley Debate. It is very important that the files are either MP4 or MOV files. People can watch these file types directly in Google Drive without having to upload it to anything. So, in order to make the sharing of these files as easy as possible, we are going to be very strict about these formatting requirements. Debaters are going to want to make sure that they are submitting the appropriate recordings to the appropriate folders. For research-based debates like CETA and NFALD, the first affirmative should prove no problem because you could just submit 3 copies of the same affirmative to each of your affirmative folders. For NPDA, there'll be 3 different topics, so you're going to want to make sure that you know which video goes to which debate. For IPDA, there will be many different topics based on topic selection procedures. It's important to recognize that all debate entries are submitting their affirmatives at the same time. That means you can go into the other 3 folders where you are the negative debate entry and you can see them as they are uploaded. If you go to that folder after the cutoff time and there is no affirmative, please contact your opponent first and then contact the tournament second in order to let us know what is happening. We have methods to deal with situations like this. Assuming all goes well, then you will have affirmative speeches to watch and rewatch and take notes on and fact check and research and prepare for the next stage, cross-examination. Once you have watched and understood your affirmative's constructive video, contact them and set up a time to record a video conference. This is the only part of the debate that needs to happen synchronously. Both debaters need to be on the screen at the same time in order to capture the synergy that happens during cross-examination. This is also the stage of the debate that is most likely to confuse people because instead of being in charge of just 3 videos, you have to participate in 6 of them. 3 debates you are asking questions, and in 3 debates you are answering questions. You can divide the labor depending on whether or not it is a 1-on-1 format or 2-on-2 format. But still, There are 6 cross-examination speeches that need to be managed during this stage. We strongly suggest saving any correspondence that you have with your opponents in order for us to do any troubleshooting that might come along down the way. Once the submission period for cross-examinations has elapsed, now it's time to turn your attention to the first negative constructive. It's just like the first affirmative constructive, where you have 3 speeches for 3 debates, but you need to be responding to the affirmative videos that you were given in the last stage and that you developed questions and asked them in the last cross-examination. You want to make sure that the folders you're submitting the videos to are the correct debate number, and you can follow your opponents as they submit their negative constructives into the folders as well. Once the submission period for the 1NC has passed, now you can move on to the second cross-examination. Watch your opponent's first negative constructive submission, contact them, and schedule a conference. Record that conference to video and submit that file with a properly formatted title. Repeat for your other negative opponents, and remember that you need to manage all 6 cross-examinations. Be aware that in the second cross-examination, you are asking questions in your affirmative debates, and you are answering questions in your negative debates. For team debates, you repeat this entire process again, so you have 4 cross-examinations total. You should plan on dividing the labor in creative ways between all 4 debaters. It becomes much easier to manage all of the cross-examinations that way. For individual debates, you transition directly to rebuttals at this point. The cross-examination periods are over, and it is a simple matter of recording the appropriate speech and submitting it on your own time. Reimagining speech and debate tournaments using an asynchronous approach can be a little disorienting, and the tools that manage them are still being built. But with a little bit of human coordination, we can make these tournaments work right now, learn from them, and make them better in the future.